Hi everybody, today's the day where I'll be showing you exactly how to replicate Noel Gallagher's live guitar solo tone for both Oasis and High Flying Birds. Now for the Oasis and High Flying Birds live solo tone, it's not a secret that Noel uses a Pete Cornish soft sustain 2 pedal. But the thing is, you have to know that not all soft sustain 2 pedals are made equally. And that's also the reason why Noel mentioned that in that pedal show, because Noel himself on his board for both High Flying Birds and Oasis has got a soft sustain pedal with the name of Paul Stacey on it. Now for all of you who don't know Paul Stacey, he is actually the twin brother of Jeremy Stacey, who was the first drummer in High Flying Birds. But more importantly, Paul Stacey is a phenomenal studio musician and he helped out Noel quite a lot with his solo recording projects. Yeah, he, for example, played the solo to Riverman. Now, Noel can afford every pedal on the planet, right? Why does he use Paul Stacey's soft sustain 2 pedal? Now, and this is what might be a secret, because Pete Cornish in the early 2000s had a different circuitry in the soft sustain 2 pedals than an off-the-shelf model that you could order currently. They are two distinct circuitries, and Noel tends to use the early 2000s one, the one from the pedal from Paul Stacey, because that to his ears sounds better. Now we run into a slight issue here, because early 2000s soft sustain 2 pedals by Pete Cornish, they are rare, and I mean Echodrive level of rare, right? So they don't pop up, and when they pop up on Reverb sometimes they're upwards of £1,000, for example, so they're not really available and they are immensely priced. Now the good news for us Oasis gearheads, there's a pedal manufacturer in the UK by the name of Echoline Pedals, and they've reached out to me and they have sent me a pedal from theirs. Get on that. And this pedal is called the Echoline Everest. It's the version 2.0 of that pedal, and they have modeled this pedal after the exact same circuitry as in the early 2000s Pete Cornish soft sustain 2 pedals. So within this small enclosure here is an exact replica of the Cornish soft sustain 2 circuit that Noel actually uses live for all the Oasis live solos as well as High Flying Bird solos. And also the good part of such Echoline Everest pedal, they're available, right? I mean, you could order a new Cornish soft sustain 2 pedal from Pete Cornish. You could place an order today and it will arrive in like 6 months from now. So the waiting list is really big, yeah. And you're getting a new circuitry. I don't think that the new soft sustain 2 circuitry is bad, but it's not the same as Noel's. This is what the Echoline pedal solves, right? And the Echoline pedal is more available because you can go to their website and order one new, and it's a fraction of a price of a soft sustain 2 pedal off the shelf, and way less expensive than when you might catch an early 2000s soft sustain pedal. Now, since this pedal promises a lot, I'll put it to the test, because I do have an off-the-shelf soft sustain 2 pedal, and I will just compare these 2 pedals in this video, show you some tones and how to 100% replicate Noel Gallagher's solo live tone for Oasis and High Flying Birds. For today's rig, I have chosen to use my Gibson ES355 Noel Gallagher signature, as well as an SIB Echodrive for some more overdrive. Of course, afterwards is the soft sustain 2, the original one from Pete Cornish. It's an off-the-shelf model from last year. Or the Echoline Everest pedal. I will be switching them out on my board as we go. And I also have a Boss DD3 pedal hooked up. All 3 pedals, so the soft sustain 2, the Echoline, as well as the DD3 are set to the exact same settings as Noel Gallagher uses. And in terms of amplifiers, I'll be using my Reinhardt Storm 50 as well as the HIWATT Custom 50 for this demo. Now let's start with the Columbia riff I played in the intro, because it's the same exact riff as Noel Gallagher plays in the intro of that pedal show. Now for the intro riff, we'll start with the soft sustain 2, and then we'll move on to the Echoline Everest. Now I switched out the SS-2 pedal for the Echoline Everest pedal, and I will do the same riff and see how they compare. Now, to me personally, there's a slight difference between these two pedals. In my opinion, the Echoline Everest pedal is a bit more articulate, and I think it cuts through a little bit more than the SS-2, than the off-the-shelf SS-2 pedal. And I think that's very important for playing a solo part, especially with two other guitarists, and a loud band. You just need to cut through the mix when you step on that pedal. I think for that exact reason, Noel chooses to use the old circuitry SS-2 pedal. Now, since I already made 2 other videos on the soft sustain, I will focus this video mainly on the Echoline Everest. And I will just play some more Oasis riffs so you can get a feel on how that pedal sounds. By now you probably know that I'm against buying just single-use pedals. And yes, this Echoline pedal is modeled after a pedal that Noel Gallagher, the guitarist in Oasis, uses. You can use it for much more than just Oasis stuff. And to demonstrate just that, I will show you also how beautiful that pedal just responds to your fingers and your playing. And for that I will also be getting rid of that pick, and we'll try to do some finger picking here as well and show you how that sounds. in conclusion, I would say if your goal is to replicate that Noel Gallagher solo live sound accurately, there's no way around getting one of these Echoline Everest pedals. They're just phenomenal, and in my personal opinion, I would even prefer the Echoline Everest pedal over an off-the-shelf soft sustain 2 pedal, because it's more affordable, it's more available, you don't need to wait 6 months for that pedal. And if you're not a fan of Oasis and High Flying Birds and Noel Gallagher, well, this pedal might also be for you, because it's just a very amazing Foss pedal. It's very versatile, responds to your input well. Now, I've linked the webpage of Echoline pedals down in the description. Check them out. They also do other various pedals. And what I've seen from Instagram, you can even order a custom colored enclosure. How cool is that? Now subscribe if you don't want to miss any other video. Also, I'll be using that Echoline pedal for a future video as well. I'll kind of do a replicating Noel Gallagher's sound on a budget setup, and this pedal fits that video quite well. So subscribe, like and comment. Stay tuned for all the other videos that are coming on this channel. I would highly appreciate that because you're supporting me a lot. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.